On September 3, Slavyansk outskirts came under fire from the Russian military, said Vadim Lyakh, the head of the Slavyansk City military administration. Fortunately, no victims this time, he added. According to Pavlo Kyrylenko, the head of the Donetsk regional military administration, Russian forces struck 2 enterprises and damaged 7 houses in Bilbasivka. He also pointed out that on the night of September 3, Russian military carried out missile strikes on Kramatorsk and shelled along the front line from Kurahivska to Zvanivska Hromadas. In Kramatorsk, a missile hit a food company, injuring 1 person, while another missile hit a light industry enterprise and caused a fire. On the night of September 4, the Russians bombarded Slavyansk again. One of the central districts was targeted, Mr. Lyakh said. He added that the bombardment had not killed or injured anyone. This time, the city was liberated from a car service station and a gym in Andreevsky Lane, he noted. Over September 4, 3 citizens of the Donetsk region were killed as a result of Russian shellings, and 3 others were wounded, said Pavlo Kyrylenko, the head of the Donetsk regional military administration. 2 people were killed in Kurakhove and 1 person in Soledar. Since the full-scale Russian invasion began, 800 people were killed and 2,017 were wounded in the Donetsk region. On the night of September 3, Russian army conducted a strike on Novobovarsky district in Kharkiv. The missile fell beside a school. As far as we know, no one was killed or injured, said Mayor Igor Terehov. The missile hit the ground near the school administrative building. The blast wave blew out the school windows and damaged a neighboring house, said Oleg Sinehubov, the head of the Kharkiv Regional Military Administration. According to the Kharkiv Regional Prosecutor's Office, the missile was launched from Belgorod region. The strike formed a crater 10 on 10.5 meters and over 3.5 meters deep. The attack was qualified as a violation of the laws and customs of war. 28 windows are damaged, 2 classrooms are significantly damaged. The entire building has cracks. Our school is one of the oldest in the city, and actually its oldest part is damaged. The students are now studying online. It's unworthy of a human to attack schools and hospitals. It's inhuman. Those who are doing so are not human. Russian military bombarded Kharkiv at night, September 4. 2 hits are known in a cottage area in Kievsky district, reported Kharkiv Mayor Igor Terehov. A large-scale fire occurred after the bombardment. The State Emergency Service says the missile struck a wooden restaurant in Kievsky district. The fire engulfed 2 floors of the restaurant and a summer pavilion with a total area of 2,200 square meters. The rescuers prevented the fire from spreading onto the nearby forest. While they were fighting the fire, they found a kitten. Right on the spot, they gave it oxygen and water, Yevhen Vasilenko, spokesman of the Regional Emergency Service, told Suspilne. Then they handed the kitten over to volunteers. On the grounds of the destroyed restaurant, the law enforcement officers found S-300 missile fragments, said Sergei Bolvinov, chief of the Kharkiv Regional Police Investigation Department. There are 2 craters on the territory of the restaurant complex. Late on September 4, Russian forces fired Holodnohirsky and Novobovarsky districts in Kharkiv. 3 people were wounded, a few detached houses and a high-rise building were damaged. Information about the shelling was posted by Mayor Igor Terehov. Later, he added that in Novobovarsky district, a few detached houses and a high-rise building were damaged. As Dmitro Chubenko, spokesman of the Regional Prosecutor's Office, reported later, 3 people were injured in the aftermath of the shelling. Alla Bondarenko, Kharkiv resident. Just take a look, this is what flew past my head from one window and throughout the whole house to the other window. It flew from outside, the nursery is over there, through the kitchen and right here. They won't leave us be. No electricity, no water. The water pipeline on the street is broken. On September 4, around 16:05, the Russian military shelled the village of Andriivka, Izumsky district, Kharkiv region. The roof caught fire in one of the buildings. The area of the fire was 60 square meters, reported in the Regional Department of Emergency Service. The fire was extinguished in an hour. No one was injured as a result of the fire. On September 4, the Kharkiv Regional Military Administration reported that 3 people from Andriivka were injured as a result of shelling by the Russian military on the territory of the village. All the wounded were hospitalized. According to the State Emergency Service, during the day of September 4-5, rescuers extinguished 6 fires that occurred after Russian strikes. On the afternoon of September 3, the Russian Federation troops twice shelled Zelenodolsk Hromada in Dnipropetrovsk region from Uragat rocket launchers. Previously, a 9-year-old boy was killed and 10 people were injured, reported the head of the Dnipropetrovsk Regional Military Administration, Valentin Reznichenko. Most of the wounded are in critical condition. On the night of September 4, the Russian army struck Nikopolsky district 3 times with Grad rocket launchers and heavy artillery, Reznichenko said. According to him, there are no wounded or dead among the residents of the district. A fire broke out in Nikopol as a result of shelling. In the city, 5 residential buildings and several commercial structures were damaged. The power line is not working. A private house, warehouses and a passageway of a local plant were damaged in Marhanets Hromada. On the night of September 5, the Russian army shelled Nikopolsky district twice with heavy artillery, Valentin Reznichenko reported. Up to 10 private houses and a high-rise building were damaged in Nikopol. As a result of shelling, 9 buildings in the city were mutilated, including a gymnasium, a children's and youth sports school, a shop and a cafe. Several power lines were broken. They have already been repaired. Alexander Sienkiewicz, the mayor of the city, reported that on September 3, Russian troops hit a garage in one of the districts of the city. 2 people are known to be injured. Hanna Zamazeyeva, the head of the Mykolaiv Regional Council, reported. A fire broke out on the territory of the private residential sector in the Varvarivka microdistrict due to the impact of Russian ammunition and its fragments. The main department of the State Emergency Service of Ukraine in Mykolaiv region reported. As a result of the shelling, some old things caught fire on the roof of a garage in the private sector. Rescuers extinguished the fire on an area of 7 square meters. A woman was injured as a result of the shelling. Alexander Sienkiewicz, Mykolaiv city mayor, announced that on the night of September 4, medical facilities and residential buildings of the city came under fire from Russian troops. It is previously known that the city was shelled with S-300 missiles. 3 medical institutions, 2 educational institutions, a hotel and a museum were damaged. Mykolaiv Regional Military Administration reports that there have been no casualties or injuries so far. The watchman calls at 3:30 in the morning, saying that there are hits. He miraculously remained unharmed, having just come out from his psychological needs. The rocket fell literally 5 meters from the building. The blast wave blew out not only the windows but also damaged everything inside. The wing of the center was completely destroyed. There was a lot of equipment, office equipment, tools, refrigerators, air conditioners and furniture. Mykolaiv Regional Military Administration reports that on the night of September 5, the city was again attacked by Russian missiles. According to preliminary data, the city was fired with S-300 missiles. The hits were at an industrial enterprise on the outskirts of the city. Previously, there are no victims and injured. The industrial premises and the roof of the buildings were damaged there. The roof of one of the private residential buildings was also damaged, Alexander Sienkiewicz, the mayor, said. According to rescuers, the warehouse building was destroyed, followed by a fire. The fire was extinguished on an area of 30 square meters. On September 4, a fire broke out in the city of Voznesensk due to the hit of Russian ammunition and its shrapnel. The main department of the State Emergency Service of Ukraine in Mykolaiv region reported that a granary of the elevator on an area of 100 square meters caught fire. According to the South Operational Command, the attack on Voznesensk was carried out by cruise missiles of the Kalibr type. In addition, Russian troops struck the town of Ochakiv, Mykolaivsky district. The elevator and dozens of houses were ruined. Several thousand tons of grain were destroyed. In the afternoon of September 4, Russian troops attacked the urban-type settlement of Mykolaiv district. The roof of one of the residential buildings caught fire as a result of the fall of ammunition and shrapnel from them. Press service of the State Emergency Service reports. Rescuers managed to extinguish the fire at 13:55 on an area of 120 square meters, the report says. According to the emergency services, there were no casualties. The owners of the house left beforehand due to constant shelling of this settlement. Dmytro Zhivitsky, the head of Sumy military administration, reported that on the night of September 4, on the territory of Sumy region, there were about 100 hits in 7 hromadas. The Russians fired from multiple rocket launchers, self-propelled artillery and mortars. In the village of Novovasilivka of Znop-Novhorodsk hromada, the walls of houses were cut by shrapnel. The premises of the school and the village council were damaged. In Druzhba village of Druzhba hromada, private houses were damaged, windows were broken and fences were destroyed. There were also hits in Mykolaivka and Krasnopilla hromadas of Sumsky district. There are no victims among the population.